So I'm going to just step you through how simple it is really to create a lead ad. You just hit, once you're connected, you just hit create lead ad. You're still in constant contact. You haven't had to go into Facebook or do anything like that. And the first thing it's going to do is it's going to ask you what type of information do you want people to provide to you. Because you have to think about this. When someone clicks, you know, say you're going to give them a white paper or you're going to give them some type of, in one case I have a customer that has done a webinar, and we're saying, hey, see our free webinar, download it now. What they can do is they can provide you very, very simple information. The thing is, Facebook knows all that information, so they actually fill out the form for the client. They put in their first and last name, they put in their email address. Okay. The first thing you want to do is decide what information you want to collect from the individual. I say keep it very, very simple. Just ask for their email address and their first and last name. If you start to ask them too many more questions, they're not going to want to give that info. Like phone number. Nobody wants to give up their phone number. So don't even bother asking that right now. They don't really know you, but they are willing maybe to go ahead, if you're providing them something of value, to get that information. So I suggest that you just ask email, full name, and that's Facebook's going to fill that in for you because they know their email address. That's what they log in with, and they know their name. The next thing they're going to do is they're going to ask you for a link to your website. So when they finish signing up, it'll say something like, hey, to learn a little bit more about us, visit our website, which is real nice of Facebook. The other thing that you have to provide them is a link to your privacy policy, because privacy is a big issue nowadays, and you have to be able to show Facebook that you have a privacy policy on your website. And if you don't have a privacy policy on your website, you probably need to go ahead and get one up there. The next thing you do is start creating the ad. And I suggest you use a single image. Now, if you have a video, a short 30-second video or something like that, I think the video has to be at least 30 seconds to run, but you can put a video up there. I really recommend doing a single image because most of you guys don't want to pay money to produce a video, and you know, single image is just as simple. You can do something, I think that's kind of eye-catching, you know, someone looking confused or whatever. I'm trying to say that they're out of ideas because what I'm trying to promote is a 30-day kind of what I call a 30-day challenge. I'm not calling it that here, but it's a 30-day challenge where I provide 30 days worth of social media challenges or inspiration to inspire them to come up with posts every day for 30 days. And I offer it to them for free. You can browse your library to find images. I recommend a place called Pixabay, Pixabay.com. All the images there are free to use. There's no royalties. All you have to do is just type in what you're thinking about, and you'll probably find several good images to use. Most of them are very well done. Down here, the very last thing, they will sometimes say to you, you know, that it should be less than 90 characters. I think this is probably like 95 characters. You can hit the desktop view and then the mobile view and make sure that nothing's being chopped off. But I usually go over a little bit. I think you can actually do 135 with Facebook, and they really don't care. That's when they'll kind of flag you that you've put too much. The constant contact's being conservative and trying to ask you to keep it to 90. Then you go in and you pick your audience, because there's no sense in running your ad to the world, because we're all right here in Atlanta. The bulk of our business comes from Atlanta. So you want to target your audience. You can target by age. You know, you can actually do custom audiences. And if you've ever done ads in in Facebook already, and you've created a custom audience, it's going to show up here also. It's going to pull it right in. And so if you already have an audience set up that's a custom audience, you can just go ahead and click on that, and it's going to go ahead and put all your information in. And then you're going to pick your budget. So let's just jump in real quick. This is an example for a client, in my case for business. I'm not looking for super young business owners. I'm looking for more established business owners. So I'm looking for people from 40 to 60 years old. and I'm looking for them in a 13-mile radius around Lawrenceville, and then a 12-mile radius around, Sandy Springs. And you see, I'm getting that upper half of Atlanta, basically, is what I'm doing. Then I'm going in and I'm looking at demographics, and I'm looking at job titles. I'm looking for business owners. I'm looking for people in the industry of looking for marketing and social media that are interested in social media. And it'll tell you, there's a little gauge there that's going to tell you how you're doing. And it's also going to show you that I'm going to reach approximately 60,000 people have that criteria on Facebook. Now, when I started, it was about 210,000. So I've narrowed it down. You don't want to be too wide. You're not trying to reach everybody out there in your market. You're trying to reach people that really make the most sense for you. And then you go in and you come up with your budget. I was running this campaign for about 10 days. You can choose a 7, 14, or 28 day, or you can choose the calendar. I usually choose the calendar because I usually run anywhere from 3 to 7 days. In this case, I chose 10 days, so it says that I'm spending $3.50 a day. So it's not a ton of money, but I'm going to reach thousands of people doing that. So what's next? Okay, I've launched the ad, it's running. I'm now going to go, I'm going to get out of here, and I'm actually going to go into Constant Contact real quick.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So that $3.50 per day, about how many instances will the ad run per day?
That I don't know, but when you're doing it, if you look, it'll usually give you an estimate of how many people. It'll say, like, you're going to reach 150 to 360 people a day.
And that one said something like up to 190.
Yeah, okay.
Social media and financial services are very different prices, though.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's based upon your industry and what you put in your search criteria. It's going to tell you about how many people you're going to reach. It's also going to tell you the total, like in that case, 60,000, and I'm reaching 100 and something a day, 190 a day potentially. I've got several days I got to run if I'm going to reach that whole 60,000.
But are you paying per click like you would do on AdWords, or is this just instances where it runs?
In the case that I use, it's usually per 1,000 that I reach.
Impressions?
Yeah, impressions.
Yeah, that's the right word.
Yeah. So I'm reaching I'm going per 1,000 is what I'm trying to do. It's usually cheaper that way than to do per click.
Does the ad run on a business site, or does it run on people's personal site?
Yeah, it shows up in their news feed as if it was a friend of theirs posting something. So that's why you don't want to put something real salesy with a bunch of words all over it. Facebook, if you put too many words on there, will not approve the ad. Yeah. You want to keep it basic, like I did with just a picture to catch somebody's attention. What I've attached this to is what I call my 30-day challenge. It's something I had already set up. It's actually on my website. You can go to my website and click on my 30-day challenge, and you're going to get inspirational ideas for 30 days. So this is a rather long drip campaign, but the idea is to present me as a leader and in the industry of social media. So I'm just going to go in here and do a manage. It's going to show you the first 15 of the emails that I have in here, and here's the first one is a welcome email. I'll just click on it real quick. Let me go into preview, and so it's just basically explains to them what they're going to be receiving each day, what's up to them, and then it says here's your first challenge, and it tells them the recommended social medias that make sense for this challenge, which are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And it's basically, telling them, is there an event that you just recently attended? Make a post about that. And that's how simple it is. I'll go back here to my list, feature in the series. And every day, it's going to send out a new one automatically. I don't have to think about it. It's on autopilot. But for you, usually what I suggest doing is you have one go out immediately. If you send them a white paper or something like that, it goes out immediately. But then a day or so later, you send out something else, just another little touch. And then you wait 3 or 4 days and send out something else. And it's you know, they say that, you know, you've heard this a million times, I've said it here, I know before, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So they're just getting to know you. And if you keep providing them good information, they're gonna start liking you. And with my whole idea, after 30 days, I'm hoping they trust me. You know, because I've for 30 days I've given them free stuff, and I hope that, you know, when they start receiving my newsletter, stuff like that, that it'll work for them. And newsletters are great. I had a client, or not a client, but someone that had been receiving my newsletter for 4 years, and one day they called me and said, "Hey, I'm working at this company now. We need a video made. I saw that you're making videos. Can you help us?" And it turned into a $3,000 video purchase, and they actually introduced me to someone that gave me $7,000 worth of business that year. So newsletters are a great way to stay in touch with people for the long run. That's it for me. Any questions?